Toxic Family Moments. According to Reddit, number 20. My father was extremely abusive in every way. Living like that since birth, I thought it was normal. Every time he'd tell me to do something, I would do it immediately, knowing how mad he'd get if I didn't do it. But every time I'd do something, he would get mad and say that he didn't say to do it like that. He didn't tell me to do it at all, and just wanted me to sit down and shut up. No matter what, I'd end up getting my ass beat. That's a simulation of the ass getting beat. I would be so confused as to what I was doing, I could have sworn I did exactly what he asked, but he said that I didn't, and that I'd get so frustrated and upset with myself. If I could only listen. Really? Right the first time, I wouldn't be getting beat all the time, I thought. So one day, I want to say I was 4 years old, he told me to do something. I felt this determination wash over me, and I felt this determination wash over me that I would hear and understand exactly what he said. I made what he wanted done. Boy, you skipped a line? Maybe? I made sure I understood every word. I knew exactly what he wanted done. This I knew. I wasn't going to doubt myself because I'd made absolutely sure that I knew what he wanted in full clarity. I just need to stress that I was absolutely 100% sure of what he'd said. Jesus Christ. If you were my kid, I'd be disappointed too. Hi-oh! So I went and did exactly what he wanted. This dude's dad really did a number on this kid. And when I was done, he screamed at me about how it wasn't what he wanted. You want to know how I tell this story? You know what I mean? Because I fucked a woman in my life? Here's how I'd say it, okay? When I was younger, my mom, because my pappy wasn't around, she would engineer what I like to refer to as lose-lose situations. Tell me to go do something, I do it, she's mad. Tell me to do something, I don't do it, of course she's mad. You know what I mean? It didn't matter. Because the goal was getting mad. And either way, we're going to find a way to get there. You know what I'm talking about, baby? Imagine me wasting 5.5 hours of your time telling you this pussy ass story about how my dad, I was 4 years old, I just didn't understand. Bruh, I guess I'm toxic. On the very first entry. There's a way to say things, man. You don't, oh wow, my mic was turned a little bit down. That's better, huh? Hello to everybody in the stream chat. Ariana Pandaren, Linda Bobby Alonzo, Dia Bobby. I said Bobby before. And Mr. Ryukage. Number 19. Every time I said this or that I got immediately criticized or questioned or made fun of to make me feel like poop. Well, that's sad. You can't even declare things that you like without people using you as a lightning rod for ridicule. It's funny. I mean, this isn't new, I feel like a lot of people are living the life, especially at home, where, long story short, any and everything that they do is targeted and teased. And some parents don't mean it in any, offensive way, but other parents very much do live by putting other people, their kids included, down. And that's pathetic, but, at the same time, it ends up teaching the children not to say anything, not to associate with the parents, only to deal with them when necessary or when they're needed, and in many ways to kind of like hide out in their room. And one of my favorite memes that I know a lot of people use is a meme where, as soon as they make an appearance outside of their room, everybody got shit to say like, oh, look who came out their room. You actually coming out here? And it just makes you like want to go right back in, like piss off. What a bunch of wankers, I'll be asking that question about they grave, baby. You ain't coming out your grave today? Oh, it's a beautiful apocalypse out here. Number 18. Whenever my mom would always tell me that I loved my friends more than my family. Okay, Mom. Just because you went to go hang out, I love it. Note, I seldom leave the house to hang out with them, once every other week, because I'm mostly introverted. Damn, imagine a mom that needy. Get some fucking strange, bitch. What this got to do all my... It's even worse that I go out for 2 consecutive days or more. It's suffocating and stupid. Yeah, well, eventually they'll find what they're looking for in a partner that inevitably leaves them, and then they'll be forced to realize as they cry themselves to sleep that the problem isn't everybody else, it's actually themselves. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, that kind of realization is going to hit them like a motherfucking train. Bow! Hello to Belle. Hello to Phil. And hello to Bobby again. Why do I keep saying Bobby's name? Damn it, Bobby. Damn it. Number 17. Years ago, I was in a hospital after getting stabbed right in the crotch. So I went under, and the EMS had to bring me back. I woke up in the hospital full of stitches, but very much alive. I had a really great group of friends that came throughout the weeks of me being there. Man, that's more than a lot of people can say. To the point that I got my own room because it was disturbing fellow patients that I shared a room with, and the staff were super nice about it. Only family member to visit was my younger sister, my mom, dad, and 4 other siblings. None of them came, and my mom only phoned and communicated to me through the nurses, never speaking directly to me until I was back at home. This was during a time where we actually had a decent, comparative to now, relationship. I want y'all all to think about that shit. Imagine you just going about your day and then you get stabbed in the abdomen and end up in the hospital, and all your friends come to see you, but not your family. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? Can you imagine what perspective you'd have? You know what I mean? Looks like Alexander Palermo's in the chat, and he's all about fish. He won't tell you. He's trying to throw you off the trail with the dumb emojis at his disposal, but if there were more fish emojis, he'd be all over that. You could say, when it comes to Alexander, there's something fishy going on. Number 16. Meeting regular parents and witnessing them actually be good to their kids, help them, love them, and teach them valuable lessons about life. Not yelling for every small mistake that they did. Also now realizing that not every raised hand is about to hit you sometimes. It could also be there to pet you. But unfortunately for me, it was not the case. That's tragic, but, as we get further along in life, we learn and we can distance ourselves from our crippling pasts. Here's hoping that some of us are granted the ability to just be left the hell alone. You'll never know what a blessing it is until it is not available to you. You know what I mean? That's the truth. Number 15. When I got put into a children's home at 6 years old, and the other kids were scared of the stories that I would tell about my home life. Huh. Well, I wonder what happened that, wrenched this child. I mean, I'm pleased and I'm happy that they got out of whatever environment was so terrible that, it was worthy of taking the kid out of there. And I think it may be time for me to look up some more child protective services lists, even though they're a bit gnarly, and I'm not really trying to deal with the whole parents being the one who are, messing with their own kids, like physically and things like that. It just gets on my nerves. Number 14. When I found out a lot of my family members are child predators, I can't escape it no matter where I go. I just said that's the reason I stay out the CPS lists. And it's right here in front of me. Child predators, and everyone knows, but no one talks about it. Belle is all like, what did he do? Belle, I know that you're new to this, but let me teach you a lesson as a woman, okay? When it comes to churros, don't feed them. Don't give them attention. Don't ask what they did. Trust that the people that I have appointed with that hot wrench aren't just handing them out willy-nilly, and by it I mean bands. Trust that they're there for a reason. The reason that it's imperative that you don't feed a troll is because that's what will motivate them. That's what will fuel them. That's what will make them thrive, okay? How many people you think approach somebody and know that they're not going to be able to get their attention by just trying to get their attention? So they go immediately hostile, they go immediately stupid, because maybe then they can provoke a reaction out of you. And it's true, some people are, unfortunately, so simple that it doesn't immediately occur to them that this person is literally just trying an alternative method of getting their attention. I remember when I used to play on Xbox Live, and occasionally there would be like some girls online that some dudes would want to play with. Those girls had so much attention that these kids knew they couldn't just be like, oh, hey, can I be your friend? The girl would be like, ew, no way. But they knew that if they'd be like, look, bitch, you're stupid, you need to be in the kitchen, that maybe, just maybe, that girl would be like, how can you fucking say that? That's so disrespectful. But they've begun a dialogue. Do you get what I'm saying? But they've begun a dialogue. Don't let these people outsmart you. They're trash. You know what I mean? You're better than that. You're better than that. Step over that shit. You know what I'm saying? Step over it and fart as you're doing it, because it's not worth it. What? Ugh. What did he do? Be irrelevant. That's what he did. Number 13. My mom makes up lies, then makes me look like the liar. Huh? That's special. Usually it's just goalpost moving. It's kind of like your mom is like a more intent, like the final version of a bad girlfriend or an ex-wife in the making. You know, she's gonna really show you some shit that you didn't think a woman could be capable of, in the way of just like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? From zero to what are you talking about in no seconds flat. Your mother should at some point just take the lid off. You know what I mean? Take the suppressor off, so to speak, and show you just how crazy a person can get, to prepare you for the real world. But nah, man, this takes a bit of skill. You know, you're the one lying, you make somebody else seem like a liar. It's usually goalpost moving. It's usually like, okay, that's not the deal. That's not the issue anymore. Oh, really? That's not the issue anymore? What? How do you do that? You know, you lie and I go, okay, that's not true. Here's this evidence. Here are these facts. Well, you're the liar now. What? Man. No wonder people pushing for gun control. I said it. Number 12. Bill Burr once told a joke. No one thinks they have an anger problem until they punch out the clown at their kid's birthday party. Oh, I thought this was just going to involve kids. Kids will make you ball up your fists. You know what I'm talking about? Boy. And not even because because you're going to like, You know, I just got like horrible flashbacks of Overwatch teams and team games and Fall Guys. I just don't want to... For whatever reason, it really made me step back and ask myself why the hell I'm so angry all the goddamn time. Because my parents never wanted a kid, so they raised me like a dog. Well, that's tragic. You've got treats, you've got toys, food, and shelter. Why do you keep bothering me? Huh. Damn. Imagine hearing that from your parents, bro. Imagine hearing that from your parents. I've got treats and toys. I can roll over and sit, but I shouldn't have to do that, Mom. Not for your love. Not for your love. And scene. When I dropped out of high school, I was practically a goddamn feral. No social skills, no discipline, not even a personality. Oh, how you make it to high school and don't have a personality, guys? The people that I knew, man, even if they were blank slates, they were absorbing aspects of people around them, things that perhaps they saw on TV or in a music video. They were just ingesting and becoming, if not carbon copies of what they're seeing, like amalgams of the things that they saw. And I love Life is Strange in the beginning because when you're walking down the hallway in that shitty high school, you just see all of the losers, the Tumblr dwelling dweebs that for whatever reason are so obsessed with what they think their identity should be that it never perhaps occurred to them to be themselves. And that's what school is like in a lot of cases. You find those people who are true to themselves, oh my God, it'll almost make you horny because of how surrounded by these fucking fake ass just normies that are really, that you could tell they go home and they watch the Disney Channel and they figuring out, okay, that's exactly how I'm gonna dress and act. And oh my God, just wait until the world sees me. Mom, we going to the mall. Back when the mall was a thing. Y'all remember the mall? Do y'all remember beepers? Okay, so look, it's been a real trip to experience a supportive, emotional, and loving relationship for the first time in my adult life. I've really got the most wonderful wife on the planet. Yeah, if you can survive a terrible, 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 terrible young life, you have the delight, the joy of a potential great life in your future. If you got a lot of rough bing bongs as a kid, you can probably try your best to make sure at the very least that you guard your child from them bing bongs. They'll probably find new bing bongs. Life will guarantee that the next generation of bing bongs, the bing bong evolution will find its way onto your kid's plate, boy. It won't be that bad. You can protect your kids. I believe in you. Sad face Ariana. Ariana says, my dad treats the dogs better than he treats his family. That's kind of crippling. At least he's there, I guess. But it makes you wonder, it kind of begs the question, would you prefer a father who is absent or a father who is there but treats the animals better than y'all? It's kind of like the dumb kind of question you'd see on Reddit every day. Here's one I saw today when I was scrolling through looking for a list. Wonder if I can even find it. I mean, it just doesn't get dumber than Reddit, guys. You don't even know. Oh no, my Play Avengers subreddit that I love to watch because it's coming out soon. So here was the question that I saw on Ask Reddit. It said, would you take $5 million? And this is what I fucking hate because all of these questions are just like, hey, would you take money, but... and then something stupid. Here was one. Would you take $1 million, but you can't leave the state? Like, how is that not a no-brainer? You know what I mean? You got $1 million, you can make the outside world come to you. Straight the fuck up. There are people of every nationality, ethnicity, and cultural descent that are willing to come straight to your ass to give you a slice of wherever you asking them to come from. Money, 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 money. But that wasn't even the stupidest one. The stupidest one that I saw was something like, would you take $5 million if every 2 weeks for the rest of your life, you grew taste buds in your butthole? And I know it may feel like I'm lying to you, but I want you to think about how unamusing I consider something like that. I'm not amused by that. So I will find it for you. Here it is. You get $5 million, but for every 2 weeks you are alive, taste bud grows in your butthole. I will read you an entry from this, just in case you had a little bit of respect for Reddit. Sometimes you may wonder why I choose the lists I choose, and it's because I think that they will be not specifically interesting, but the most interesting. The cream of the crop, unfortunately. And sometimes, the best doesn't mean good. It just means it's the best. So the top one here says, yes, Taste buds die every 2 weeks and are replaced. Therefore, I will only have one taste bud. Since the average mouth has like 10,000 taste buds, I think I can handle having one in my butthole for $5 million. So here we got somebody spitting facts. You know what I mean? More so than the idiot who wrote this post was understanding. You know, maybe if he added some sort of, you know, oh, the taste buds don't die and they just over time, you just taste it more and more, you know? That's what he would have meant, but it's too late now. He didn't specify. It's kind of like that one question that really pissed me off about a snail that was like trying to kill you or something like that. Oh, it just needed to catch you and touch you. And then you die? I don't remember. It was like, you can take money, but if the snail catches you, you die. And I think the snail was super intelligent and like also rich or some stupid shit like this. Because otherwise you'd think of just like submerging yourself underwater. How can you not put yourself in a suit of armor, you know, with the snail then be in a suit of armor himself, you know? What if I build a spaceship? Is the snail going to build the spaceship and come after me? I fucking hate that question so much. But it's really just a bit of fun, and I need to allow the fun to be fun. Okay? Sierra says, my dad would leave before I woke up, come home after I fell asleep, and when he was home, would just yell at us to clean. Tries to have a relationship now as if I owe him something. Well, you survived, and that's what's important. I think the most important thing when it comes to living in certain households is getting out of it with a mindset that is still objective and capable of love, you know? I think the most crippling and sad shit that a lot of people deal with in the relationships that they have with their parents as they're growing up is not specifically like cynicism or like a lack of trust, you know? But it's more just, boy, I don't even know how to articulate, unfortunately, what I would mean in the way of them fucking these kids up. But these parents really do obliterate these kids in a way where, you know, it's not even about trust. You know, it's not even like if they just spend a certain amount of time around somebody that they over time realize really is, you know, fighting for them, you know, they're in their corner and stuff. Some of these kids are impaired in a way where it's not just about, whether they'll be able to love another person. It's about how they view themselves. And I believe that to truly be in a relationship and be all about some other people, some people, not all people, some people need to sort themselves out, you know? And if they got shit going on with themselves and they can't like who they see when they look in the mirror, that kind of shit can ruin a relationship. Think about how many people out there, men and women, don't like what they see when they look in the mirror. They don't think that they have anything to offer. They don't think that they're worthy or special. They end up in a relationship with somebody that loves them, is over the moon, would do anything for them, wants them to be comfortable, will allow them to do whatever they want, show off, you know, maybe even be in an open relationship. But because of that other person's insecurities, they end up feeling like they're not worthy. They're not good enough for their partner. And the partner's, again, willing to do anything for this motherfucker, bending over backwards, you know? And that kind of shit can create arguments too. The belief, the other person simply believing that they're not good enough. When it's like, bitch, how many times I gotta tell you, what's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? And then they'll believe that, you know, because they're not good enough, that, you know, perhaps their partner is cheating, when they have no reason to believe anything like that because that person is all about them. You know what I mean? And sometimes it ain't even cheating. It's just like a fear, you know? That anxiety that because they're not good enough, the person's going to leave them, you know? Not specifically, you know, just be with somebody else or think about somebody else or talk to somebody else or spend some time with somebody else, but just the idea that they will potentially and inevitably be left alone because must be a time limit. You know, because of the way that they view themselves, they assume that that is the way that they are viewed by not just their parents, but potentially everybody. And those kids, to be informal, I'm saying, oh, those parents are fucking those kids up, but those kids have been sabotaged. Do you get what I'm saying? By instilling and planting the seed in these kids' heads that they will never amount to anything. The prophecy has come to motherfucking pass via these kids, and it's not even their own fault. Some of them reach a point where it was like, okay, no matter how many times they were told or showed that through somebody else's eyes, they're more than enough, it wouldn't matter. Oh my God, inside Kyle, there is just a gas pressure explosion about to be unleashed. I'll try to get out of here so that you're safe. Seraphin says the person that cares less in the relationship has more power. Oh boy. It's true. So, boy, here we are. Number 11, my first memory of my parents fighting was when I was 3 years old. I remember my mom looking at my dad and yelling, "This is why we're getting a divorce." Wow. They separated when I was 2, but took some time to figure out custody, as well as the actual finalization of their divorce. My mom was also so angry and would scream and throw things and tell me consistently that she didn't want me around. I finally had a breaking point with my mom when the day before I turned 17. We got into a huge fight, and I finally realized that she just was taking out aggression of her past on me. It's a hell of a thing to realize about a parent. One day when maybe they're yelling at you, they're shouting at you, they're giving you shit, maybe they're hitting you, my dude. Maybe they're really just coming at you about something that not only isn't your fault, but you can't help and you can't make better. You have tried everything, you've apologized, and you can't do anything else. And you come to the realization that, wait a minute, this isn't about me, it's about them. And they're using me as an outlet because they don't have another one. Because they must regard you as somebody that is forced to stick around, you know what I mean? Indefinitely. But motherfucker, you goddamn wrong, baby. I realized she'd been blocking out the abuse that she put me through and finally brought it to her attention. Bitch, she knew. I know her mother was an abusive alcoholic and she kept perpetuating this cycle of abuse. What triggered the whole realization was when I dated someone for the first time when I was 16, and my boyfriend's mom treated me like her own. It was the first time that I felt welcome in a home. She made sure I ate because she knew I wasn't eating properly at home. She always had a bed made for me in case I ever needed a place to stay. Yo, when your boyfriend's mom accepts you and is making a bed for your ass, it's gotta be bad when she can tell that you ain't eating right. Jesus Lord. Would always check in with my boyfriend to make sure that I was okay when I went home, and I moved out the month I graduated school, and I have not gone back to her house. Boy, it's tragic, but to a greater or lesser extent, sometimes I feel like the job of a parent is to make it so that you live. And for that, no matter what, thanks. That's what people owe their parents, for keeping their corny ass alive. But that's the bare minimum. When you're dealing with a child that didn't ask to be born, that's the bare minimum. How cute is the taco? Boy, I'm not into tacos. Dia, what would be the Mexican equivalent of breasts via food?
I don't know, for me,
tortas. But what about tetonas, Dia? Tetonas grande. What does gordinha mean, Dia? What does gordinha mean?
Gordinha?
Yeah.
I don't know. That doesn't sound like a word.
It's not, dude, it comes up. What does gordinha mean?
I don't know, Kyle. I've never heard that word before.
Okay, what about like pastries? Is that like a good, titty one? Yeah, like what are Mexican pastries? What does that sound like?
What do you mean? What does that sound like?
I mean, like, give me some Mexican pastries that we could probably use as a titty.
Pastel de tres leches.
Well, look how long that sounds for titties.
How about tres leches then? Three
Oh,
milks.
listen, 3 milkies. What's okay?
3 milks. You'd probably be a fan of that.
Something with milk. I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
So look,
It's
and the stream needs to help. No empanadas is ridiculous.
empanadas are great, but
I know,
they're
but
nothing
for
compared.
breasts, okay?
That's
So
why
look,
tortas are delicious and they're big.
if vag is to taco, then breasts are to what? Just Julie says, hello everyone. I haven't been able to catch up on live chat. I hope you're all doing fine. Well, it's not like there's heavy, chat lore. One of you should really just make it so that it's so explosive and like different what's going on in the chat on a nightly basis, so that anybody who feels like they also need to read the chat has to pause the video because it's so intense. Number 10, boy. When my friend pointed out that most people are allowed to shower every day without having to negotiate. Well, that sounds more like a potentially broke problem. You know what I mean? We're like, the parents are pinching pennies so hard that they scared to pay for water too much. That's crazy, boy. That's crazy. Put some shit out in the backyard, or if you have an apartment, like, I don't know, potentially a patio area, maybe a balcony. Put it on the roof if you have to, so that these kids can fucking bathe. If you that scared of allowing them to shower, oh man.
This is every day.
I'm so gassy, but nothing's coming.
And the thing is, so it doesn't necessarily.
Wait, are none of you going to be playing Marvel's Avengers with me on the PS4? It's going to be so dope. And on the 1st, they're going to be announcing their next playable hero. And I think it's either going to be Captain Marvel or Ant-Man in the game. But I want them there at launch where you can unlock it. The thing I don't like about Tres Leches is that it's 3. And there's only 2 titties. That doesn't make sense. Yo, I feel like I need to burp. What if I Maybe I need to get ginger ale. Something. The pressure is insane and I apologize. Number 9. When my overly religious grandma tried to defend her blatant favoritism of my older sister by telling me that I was born evil. Oh, okay. Now, let's talk, guys. I don't know if y'all have grandparents that are, for lack of a better word, ignorant and believe in some hilarious shit because they were brought up very religious. And what that religion translates to is super fucking stition. So, via that ignorance, man, is it possible? Bless you. No, excuse me. My pressure zone. My pressure zone. I have not listened to that in a long time. I can't wait to fit it in my mouth, in my crack, up my ass. I'm so horny I could choke on a cock tonight. It's the greatest song ever made. Are you kidding me? Oof. I'd do a cover of that if I were a braver man, Just Julie says,
Kyle, try drinking warm water. That should help with the gas.
Hey, toots. That's not warm.
Not at all, because it's been in here. You want me to go get you one from the living room? I'm sure that crap will definitely be warm.
Oh, God, water tastes so bad, and I think I hate purified. Whatever.
It's not purified.
It is. It's all purified. You didn't know? That's all I buy if you don't care. Need to get that spring water. Linda says, do an extravagant shimmy, Kyle. You like that? You like that? Yeah.
Don't do that. You know what's underneath you and what could happen if you do too much.
You saying that one of the springs in this already depleted and pathetic bed could spring forth and go right into my scrotum and then rip and tear at my ball sack? Sadeja, I was just talking about you today because you're perfect. Seriously, my stomach, I don't like it. I don't like what's going on in there, the pressure, you know? And I think you've been there, and I hope that you don't get there in the future, because you know that it's gas. You know that you either need to pass it the forbidden way, down the chamber of secrets, or you just need to burp. You know? But when neither of those are coming, and it's just not right, Kyle freaks out because he's gassy. The list. Number 8. I told my mom I was depressed, and that she basically told me to just deal with it myself.
Mom, thanks. Wow. Wow, Mom. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel better already. Wait a minute. I suck, and I need to keep my problems to myself. Shut up. Whoa. Thanks, man. That was 4 years ago, and I'm still having a shitty time of it. Well, here's hoping somebody slid into his DMs and made his life a little bit better, you know? Number 7. When I realized what sex was and that my family shouldn't be doing it to me. Not kidding. Fucked up childhood. Come on, man. I think the saddest realization that a young person can come to is that evil comes in all shapes and sizes, and that phrases like respect your elders and blood is thicker than water are absolute bullshit, because it doesn't change how terrible people can be. Whether they're related to you or not does not excuse their unbelievable and outrageous actions. And yes, close family, maybe if they have a great history. I like to think if my mom came and knocked on my door and was like, look, I accidentally killed a motherfucker, you gonna help me bury this motherfucker or not? I'd be like, well, goddamn, I guess I'm already in this shit, huh? You know what I mean? You brought him here? Bitch, you crazy? Let's get the hell out of here. Leave them shovels. We're gonna have to buy some new ones and then dispose of them on the way. God, your plan's dumb too. We're either gonna need to cut this motherfucker up or burn him, stupid. Oh, we should just go to the docks. Fuck that. Burying is better than the dock plan. Half of y'all don't even got a fucking plan if you had to dispose of a body. This is a Kyle joke. YouTube, chill out, alright? Kyle channel does not condone the hypothetical joke discussion of disposal of a body, please. I didn't do it. I'm just saying. Conman says barrel cement down a flooded mine. Well, it's a start. It's a start, man. At least you've put some thought into it. Not as great an idea. This is the ding, though. Ding, ding, ding here. You know? And a lot of people would go the acid way. Not a bad way to go. Not a bad way to go. I just remembered something that I need to do with my 3D printer. As we continue up this list, we arrive at number 6. You know, I love all of you listening. You're so hot and sweet and beautiful and words, you know, like a dolphin. You're all like a dolphin. Number 6, my mom said that I love you at the end of a phone conversation when I was 22, and I realized it was the first time that she ever said that. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Con Man Epicness says it's hard to get your hands on strong assets like that. Yeah, if you fucking around on the surface internet, my dude. The only tricky thing about sometimes, getting into stuff like that is that if you don't just know somebody well with access to certain things, it will be, it will be suspicious, you trying to get it, yeah. In any amount, honestly. In any amount. And it sucks that everything turns into like a meth situation. Because to get what you need, you're going to have to mix. And that's a dangerous thing, you know what I mean? I think people are dying more often than you can imagine because they think they can just mix certain shit without a mask. Half the time we should be wearing a mask in the house when we're just like cleaning a bathroom or washing a dish. Because the things that are going to accidentally end up being mixed on a floor when we're just trying to clean, in a sink when we're just trying to clean. People passing the hell out, hitting their head on the way down. Oh my God, what happened out here? I love you guys so much. Wow. Number 5. Okay. My dad screamed at me for 20 minutes when I was 11 years old. He called me a bitch and told me to get the hell out of his house when I casually mentioned that we seem to argue more than other families. I will not be compared to another family. Get out of my house. It's funny because you expect this of a mother, not a dad. A thin-skinned dad that couldn't be compared to another family. The tragic irony is that every kid that's ever been born is going to have to deal with they stupid and sloppy ass ignorant parents comparing them to every other slow rapist that they really don't know as well as they think they know. You know how many times I've been compared to like straight meth crack using motherfuckers that just appear, dope at church or, at some kind of family get together or some shit like that. The things that y'all getting into online that I see, and I ain't no snitch, I guess, and I'm also not so thin-skinned that I give a fuck what people bitch ass think about some other person over me. Please, but some of these kids, boy, compared their whole life. Why can't you be more like blank? But if they ever tried that shit, if they ever tried to dish it out when they've been taking it for years, people just lose their mind instantly. Pathetic. Man, these people are... Let me read to you some of this edit so you understand just how effed up some of these people are. My heart hurts for everyone who shared the trauma. I'm giving you all a big internet hug right now. I like to give everybody a big internet squeeze. So I'm cooler, right, Dia?
For sure.
Yeah. Things can get better. And I'm hoping it does for all of you, my body. When you can address your trauma, reach out and talk to somebody. Reach out of my butt. My dad regrets not having talked to someone about what he went through as a kid because of how much it hurt his own family. Oh, it hurt. So here's something that I think Dia and I both surround ourselves with these types of people. As best we can, of course. We've been through things, obviously. But it would be ridiculous to turn whatever reaction is the culmination of the events that we have been through onto somebody that has nothing to do with it and doesn't deserve it. Imagine if my whole life I've been slapped in the face and Vanessa walks in the room and I go, oh, you know what time it is? Pow! You know what I mean? That's just not right. She didn't do anything. She was simply there. And I get it. Raising kids is really hard because morons decide to do it when they're not ready. And yes, we can make the argument that, potentially no one's ever really ready to raise a child. But some people out here fucking around and having a baby because they bored. Some people having a baby because the girl just feels like, oh, it's going to fix the relationship. Some people have a baby because they think it's like time and they feel they're falling behind their friends. My God. I've known women who wanted me to fuck a baby into them because they, quote, wanted to be needed. You know? Just ridiculous. And the fun part about it is, only when those kids are born do they realize they don't want this to be the rest of their life. They live and thrive off of the attention that they receive from other people. They need the social aspects of life, being able to go out, have a good time, party, not the responsibility that is thrust upon them of staying up and all hours taking care of this human life and making damn sure it doesn't fucking die. These niggas ain't ready. You know what I mean? Sierra says, when is the approved Kyle time to have a baby? It's not an approved time. It is a realization, understanding, and concerted effort on the part of two people. When I say people ain't ready to have a kid, it's because they haven't reached the stage in their life where they're ready to settle down and make this kid the priority. Most people are living a life. And when you have a child, to a certain degree, your life is over. And maybe that's unfair, because for some people, they like to think of it as their life being on pause for the greater half of 2.5 decades, potentially, right? But the bottom line is, your story is now the story of you and your kid. And every hour of every minute of every day should be you thinking about what you're doing for this kid, how they're doing, taking care of them, keeping them alive, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes the men get the longer stick, you know, where they get to just go to work and worry about the finances, and the mom has to do a lot of the hardcore keeping that kid quiet work. But when I say people aren't ready, it's not because of age. It's not because they haven't been together for a certain amount of time. It's not because they lack maturity or can't even communicate too well as far as the strength of the union that is their relationship. It's that neither of them are ready to stop being explosively social, to stop being little sluts and throwing themselves all around, to stop being irresponsible and wasting their money on the types of hobbies and stupid bullshit that they love to do when they don't have a disposable income. You know what I mean? A lot of boys, they spend a shitload of money on their fucking computers. What's wrong with that? You know? Maybe they smoke. Maybe they drink. You know what I mean? Getting that weed, they getting them drinks. Maybe they're buying video games, upwards of a couple hundreds of dollars a month. Some girls, maybe they're really into makeup, really want to go to a club, you know what I'm talking about? Really got to go shopping, look fucking good, all this bullshit. And now they have a kid, and they're not used to put that, they're not ready to put that shit on hold. You know what I mean? They think that they just gonna be able to get away with that. Maybe they could dump the baby on their parents and some shit like that. Maybe they got a friend that's gonna be able to babysit, and they can still hit up the club. And they think they could get as drunk as they was before and just lose track of time and all kind of bullshit like that. No, that's not what this is about. You need to nut the fuck up. I'm not saying that parents shouldn't have a good time on occasion, but what ends up happening is the fact that these people aren't ready, and this is the big takeaway, so forgive me for being long-winded. The takeaway is this: the parents who are not ready to have these kids because they're still tethered to their old lifestyle, what do you think they do but develop hatred for the child itself? The child didn't ask to be born. The child is here as a result of many of these ignorant and ill-prepared morons' actions. But now that the kid is here, and people with their very small brains are going to consider the child the reason that they can't live the life that they were living before, they will take out those aggressions on the child. And many times they're microaggressions, the type of things that they don't even possess the capacity to recognize as something coming out of them, you know? Just little twitches, little gestures, just like sometimes they're just fed up and God, just fucking get in your crib. Be keeping me up all night and I can't stand you. Always crying again. Let him cry himself to fucking sleep. You know what I mean? This is the reality of life. The reality is most parents, men and women, will have a child that, regardless of how much they love them, at some point They will reach a breaking point as far as exhaustion is concerned and think of a life without their kid and think of how easy it might be to take this kid's life. Doesn't mean that they're murderers. They're not acting out on some of those crazy and dark thoughts. But that's life, boy. Because no one's really prepared. And I'm trying to tell you like a motherfucker reaching back into a parallel dimension in the hopes that, you know, the way I'm articulating it is something you can understand. But boy, it really puts the idiots who just want to have a kid for reasons as silly as, like, you know, clearly what you're describing is the desire for a dog or for a cat. Because at the end of the day, you know, if things don't work out and neither of you can, you know, be bothered to be on call obligation-wise, responsibility-wise for this pet, you can kind of just put it up for adoption, unfortunately, you know? But putting a kid up for adoption, because y'all suck. Number 4. When my ex-sister-in-law broke into my house and started painting my living room while I was at work. Apparently she didn't like the color, and that would just ruin her Christmas.
But you don't have siblings.
Dia, think about that. Cause in my brain, I like to rationalize things. So I'm thinking it's not just she would be upset having to be at this Christmas event looking at those walls. Potentially she wants to take a shitload of pictures. If we're thinking of like a basic bitch, a dumb broad, she wants to take mad pictures, but if she doesn't like the color of the walls, they're not going to make her look as great as she might potentially be able to look. So how crazy is she? She gonna break into your house and start painting? From what we're meant to believe by reading this, presumably without permission. What are you doing? What are you doing? This is making my belly feel like it's gonna explode, bro. Boy. Oh, boy. Did somebody post something in memes? Yeah. Oh. Okay. As we continue up this list, ladies and gentlemen, before I implode, my God, I love you all. Number 3. My birthday. I got a pack of socks, but I realized I can get them cheaper from somewhere else, so I'm going to return them. My brother 2 weeks later. I think I'd like to do archery. Will you get me the $600 bow? Parents. Yes. Hell yes. I never got the socks. Damn. You want to know a dark thought that I just had? Imagine parents going all in on one kid, and then that kid dies. Uh-oh. You know what I mean? Uh-oh, Dia. Oh my God. Hey. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh boy. Okay, let's end this list before my body demonstrates more humanness. Number 2, okay? I had my graduation from engineering the same day as my mother's birthday. I, of course, had nothing to do with the date choosing. My mother said I ruined her birthday. Ha 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 ha. So she scheduled her birthday party to be on my actual birthday. Her birthday is in March and mine is in August. I don't know what to say about that. I really don't know what to say. What happened?
Is that my birthday's also in March? What a bitch.
In my face. In my face. Number 1. When I moved in with my significant other, I noticed that she called her family for things that I would never call my own family for because she actually likes them and doesn't see communicating with them as an obligation, but rather because she wanted them to be a part of her everyday life. How fucking lame. Blech, blech. Lancaster says, "Hey Kyle, haven't seen one of these streams in forever. I hope that wherever your life is taking you is where you want to go. I stream every night at the same time as best as I can. But your best bet, of course, is going into the Discord that hopefully Linda can provide a link to, and waiting for my notification. And then you'll be able to know when I'm streaming. I love you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for liking if you have. And as I said before, the Discord's the best place." What the hell was that? Did you hear that?
Yeah, it seems like it came from over here.
Oh, it was a bottle?
Maybe.
Oh my god. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's time for me to... Oh boy, Lancaster. Oh boy. Okay. Thank you, my man, for that hot super chat. I want to tell you all about how I plan to read like Marvel bullshit for you, because Fortnite's going to have this huge season that's dedicated to Marvel. And then on the 1st, the Marvel's Avengers game that you may have seen me playing is going to come out. And I'm probably going to play as much as I did with Animal Crossing. Is that rude, Dia? Do you think like a 6 to 7 hour stream is obnoxious?
I mean, no, because you're interested in the game.
We'll see. We'll see.
Love you too.
Love you, Lancaster. Golly gee, I got 5 money. Nice. I love you all, and I'll catch you soon. Stay out of trouble. Julie says, "LOL, I can see that warm water is starting to work." No, what I didn't really. Oh God. Okay, look. Whoa. I'll see you guys later. What? No. Bad.